Chapter 1. Ogri the Elder. I despise true stories, so I'll write nothing but the truth here. Yet this proves to be a challenge, wearing me down. To recount another's confession, unembellished, no lies, I doubt it's a skill anyone but a true contrarian could master. Anyway, this is no true story in the usual sense. It's simply a tale I lived, a whisper I actually heard. So to begin, I'll unveil a piece of my past. People used to call my background a mystery, veiled in shadow. That always felt a little unfair, but now I want to clear the air, lay it all out. After junior high, I drifted for a year. Then, from May of Taisho 8 to February of Taisho 11, I worked at Maynard S. Jessup & Company in Yokohama's Yamashita-cho, number 152. This company imported architectural hardware, bronze doors, board jointers, special locks, transom adjusters. And on the export side, we sent Japanese sundries to India and the Dutch East Indies. Naturally, I was assigned to the sundries department. Then, on November 9th, Taisho 10, I accompanied Mr. Jessup on his annual customer rounds. It was my first time crossing the Tropic of Cancer, landing in Calcutta, India, a land of turbans, cotton, and maharajas. I rode elephants, watched snake charmers, and wandered through Hindu temples. Lingams scattered everywhere. But neither Patna nor Calcutta held a story for me. It wasn't until I traveled south by train to a town called Puri in central India that this tale began. The inn there bore a fanciful name, Hotel Palace of the Winds. But the room faced a grimy back street called Apadravya. From the balcony, the narrow, crowded street stretched below. Sarongs and linen awnings draped it, hiding the ground from view. Yet, night brought a strange beauty. Light leaked through the sarongs, casting shadows on the balcony I hadn't noticed by day. The boisterous dealings of Patan and Pullman felt like Baghdad's bygone glory itself. Flat drums beat in the distance. With that lullaby, I'd drift to sleep and dream again of 1,001 nights. Boxed's designs, Karsavina dancing, Scheherazada's mirage. It felt as if I were Harun al-Rashid, having wandered into this very place. However, on the evening of my third day there, I looked out the window and saw what looked like a gallows in the shadow of a sand dune. It had caught my eye from the very first day. So I invited Mr. Jessup for a walk, and we headed out. But as we drew closer, it turned out to be a cart well, named Masula. This Masula might have been the name for a local small boat, too. In any case, time has passed, and my memory is no longer clear. As a water buffalo pulled the well rope, it made a sound, like someone being strangled. The sun was setting, and the Mahanadi Delta lay beneath a dark haze. Just as we reached an acacia tree where a mule was tethered, the tall grass beside us rustled violently. A cobra, perhaps? I froze in terror, jumping back at the same moment. But Mr. Jessup bent low, his face almost touching the ground. He squinted into the fading light, toward the jute fields in the distance. Soon, he brushed the dirt from his hands, looked at me, trembling, and chuckled. "Oh, my dear boy, that's a human hand." Needless to say, Mr. Ogri felt a wave of relief. Mr. Jessup, however, stroked his chin, lost in thought. Puzzled by his silent contemplation, I simply led the mule over, as if to say, "Please mount." But he said, "My boy, could you call that man over for me?" "But why?" I hesitated, utterly bewildered. But Mr. Jessup raised a hand. "You wouldn't understand," he said, lowering his voice, a hint of explanation in his expression. "But there's a reason. Upstream on this Mahanadi River, there are diamond mines. Unlike the past, they are now in deep decline, almost withered away. Still, sometimes by chance, diamonds are found mixed with carnelian and garnets. What's more, they're run by the Maharaja, so the mining methods are ancient. And the security? It simply can't compare to the mines in South Africa. No barbed wire, no electric fences. In South Africa, They say they unpick every seam of your clothes for a body search. But here it's not like that. So a miner who finds one could just escape, couldn't he? Exactly. When a gem turns up, they seize it, flee from pursuers, and sell it to a foreign ship. No, I'm not saying that's definitely the case right now. But everything like this, it's all about a hunch, you see. That was Mr. Jessup's greatest flaw. He loved to gamble, adored the stock market, preferred penny stocks, and even liked sumo, favoring Kofuzan. But when you think about it, there was a reason for his hunch. Lying prone in the grass, a known path for cobras, was certainly no ordinary act. Soon, unable to defy his request, I approached the rustling grass. And so the mysterious figure, Ram Chand, made his appearance. But let me make it clear, Mr. Jessup couldn't speak Hindustani. I too only had elementary Indian press reader skills, though I would have been in a cold sweat if he spoke fluently. He rose lazily at this mention of food. Later, as I reported our capture in Japanese, his clothes were filthy, covered in mud. Yet, his face, of the pure Aryan line, spoke differently. They say appearances can be deceiving. Still, Chand's dignity was truly exceptional. To compare him to the Prince of Lahore from Kipling's Naulaka, yet this Chand had no apparent purpose, not wanting him to feel uneasy, just wandering. Meanwhile, I had received a crucial assignment. It was to subtly probe Chand, to learn more about him. But eventually, my interest shifted to another side of Chand. He never spoke to Mr. Jessup with undue deference. Soon I, a hater of all things British, grew fond of this young man. Truly, there was no Englishman as sloppy and good-natured as Mr. Jessup. Given my commitment to Chand, his health became a growing worry. At first, I thought his weakness was from a couple days without food. He was emaciated, weak, his eyes lacked their spark. Finally, my concern grew too great. It was not about topaz nor diamonds. India, land of the Kama Sutra, of deities and destruction. This confession, I'm sure, will only weary you. India is sweltering, and so too is this tale. Chapter 2, The Waning of Pleasure. Ram Chand's confession begins. Just moments ago, you promised not to ask about my home, but I will tell you about the school where I was educated. It's called Mr. Briscoe's School, in Srinagar. There, Hindu, Muslim, and Christian children alike. Listen, most people know of Tyndall Briscoe's school. After finishing my studies there, what did I do? Miss Roberta Hemingway is the daughter of the Lord Privy Seal. She must be around 22 or 23. But as we traveled and arrived in this town, since the soldiers began firing, the town became a ruin. Rain fell. Sweat smelled rank in the humid air. Oh yes, the inn was called Kanushi Khan, the priest's house. And I was in Miss Hemingway's room at that time. Outside, the constant clatter and clash of patrols never ceased. But I was busy, arranging the southward journey schedule. Then, from next door, came the seductive splash of bath water. Miss Hemingway was taking her bath, and from there, a voice called, "Padmini! Padmini!" A rising inflection, betraying the stubbornness of an only child. But Padmini, the maid, was not there. Lost in thought, wondering how I should reply to the bathing lady. "Padmini, aren't you there, Padmini? Padmini, Padmini, are you there?" she whispered. Then Miss Hemingway paused, listening intently, letting the bathwater lie still for a while. "And who's there by the door?" "I've been hearing a rustling sound." "Is that the attendant?" "No, it's me. Padmini hasn't been here for some time." "Ah, it's you, Mr. Chand." Yet, I felt a deep gratitude. To be so near to such fresh, innocent scents, like the gentle aura of a young maiden. Then, a voice, shy and soft, called out, "Mr. Chand, I have a small favor to ask of you. Padmini isn't here, so I must trouble you. Could you bring that triangular sponge over here?" Suddenly I blinked, a quick flutter of my eyelids. The steam, softly wavering from the keyhole, looked enchanting, like a mysterious form. But I finally managed to reply, though my words felt childish and unsure. Miss Hemingway then mused, "Oh, you seem reluctant. Are you perhaps up to something in there? If you're peeking into drawers or the lingerie chest, you'd best hide it now." Soon, I found myself holding the triangular sponge Padmini had forgotten. Gently, I turned the doorknob.